Hello everyone, this is Eric.
And this is Sandy.
Today we're going to be discussing 5 principles of Filipino goodwill. This video is about Filipino goodwill that we have experienced here in the Philippines over the past few years. It's amazing to see how Filipino people treat their fellow Filipinos and friends. Filipino goodwill is something that should be modeled and implemented in the U.S. and other countries. Before we get started on this, be sure to hit that like button. It helps us help you. It seems to be one of the major factors in driving the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you would like to receive more information about the Philippines, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and go ahead and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when we upload another video. Last but not least, share this video with others who are interested in retiring to the Philippines or moving to the Philippines or just coming for a visit.
There is a principle that is called Bayanihan that is practiced by Filipinos. For you who didn't know what Bayanihan means, Bayanihan is a Filipino custom derived from the word bayan, or it means nation, town, or community. It originated from the practice of volunteers in a community helping a family move by carrying the house itself. A tradition that remains the classic illustration for the concept as a whole. Filipinos embody the Bayanihan spirit by helping one another, most especially in times of need, without expecting anything in return. More broadly, Bayanihan has been adopted as a term referring to the sense of communal unity, cooperation, and civil efforts to resolve social issues.
Yes, folks, you can basically see this demonstrated when there's a calamity going on in the Philippines. There's a big earthquake, for example, and people have their homes torn down or something like that. People will come together here. And your neighbor, if he needs a roof put on, his roof is blown off, other neighbors will get together and put the guy's roof back on. And they won't expect anything in return.
Mm-hmm. Or in other cases, like if there's a fire, relatives, families, and other, people that knows this person will help them in terms of clothing, financial, or rebuilding their house. Another principle of goodwill in the Philippines, many hands make for light work. For example, help with moving and etc. We have experience like moving around here in the Philippines, and every time we do the moving, my family, my friends will offer help without getting in return. They would say, "Hey, you guys moving? Gonna be helping packing your things, help clean the new place and whatnot," which is really good.
Yes, folks, that really is helpful. And when we have moved to several different apartments, I've experienced it personally.
Number 3, another principle of goodwill is help building a relative's house without expectation of payment for their labor. And just recently, my younger brother built his house, and most of our neighbors, my siblings as well, went there to help build the house. It usually happens on a weekend where everybody is not working, and you don't have to pay them of what work they have done. In return, for you to say thank you, my brother actually prepared a meal or some snacks for them on that day.
I saw firsthand when her younger brother decided to build a home out in the province near their older brother. They simply asked several of their relatives and friends to come over and help them, and they began from the ground up, from the foundation on up, to putting together this house for their brother.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very telling of the spirit of the Filipino. Practically, if we had something like that in the States, it would be very interesting, to say the least. Most times in the States, you can't get anybody to help you build anything, let alone help you move, and without expecting some kind of payment. On occasion, you might have a relative that would be willing to donate some of their time, but and maybe just a friend or two, at the most. It's going to be something that's going to be unusual for our society in the States.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Maybe because, Han, in
Hmm.
the States, they hire a contractor to build their house. And in that um, process, they don't have to, like, bother their relatives, their friends, or something like that, which is really different here in the Philippines. Although my brother knows a lot of engineers, himself is an engineer, just the fact that he decided to build a house in the province and have the whole community help one another is what we call the Bayanihan here, and which is really good that Eric experienced that and witnessed that here.
All right, number 4, invitation to Filipino celebrations. For example, here there could be, let's say you have a family, husband, wife, and they have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them has a birthday, so that's 5 birthdays. So throughout the year, they'll throw a party for each one of those persons on that occasion. And they'll invite you over and they'll feed you and give you drinks, things to, uh, games to play and whatnot at their own expense. And that's very unusual because in America, we tend to throw parties for someone. If someone's having a birthday party, that person may or may not even know about it. It would be a surprise, or if they do know about it, it still means that someone else will be paying for it or somebody's chipping in to pay for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very good example of how the goodwill of the Filipino is shown here.
Mm-hmm. This is based on my experience with my family. If somebody's birthday is coming up, they'll be like, "Oh, it's blah blah blah's birthday. It's coming on the second week of June." So everybody already know when the birthday is, and they're gonna be expecting that the dinner will be there or lunch will be there.
Number 5, extending Bayanihan privileges. So it's not just for the families, but it's for the friends. Now, it could be not only a neighbor, it could be someone that's a classmate of a Filipino. It could be an old friend from years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they would still extend the Bayanihan privileges to that person. So try that in the States. I mean, if you got a classmate from your high school or maybe one of your college mates, not that many people would come to go ahead and help them move or help them build a home for themselves and without asking for any payment for their time.
It is very different compared here. All right, so in conclusion, the helping and friendly attitude that Filipino extend to each other and those visiting the Philippines is nothing short of remarkable. Our concept of Bayanihan and many hands make light work are two that we solely need to adapt in the US and other countries. Doing so would likely change the attitude of the entire country for the better.
So that's it for today, folks. We hope you've learned a good lesson that you can at least talk to someone about in your neighborhood or some your relatives back home, to just let them know what's going on over here in the way of the goodwill of the Filipino people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't come here and lived here long enough to experience it, you wouldn't know anything about it. I'm glad to be here and glad to see that principle, and it's very enlightening. And it's something that I would like to see more of in my family and with other people in the States.
Mm-hmm. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you guys for still tuning in until this time. And make sure to, or don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time we upload a new one.
All right, folks, this is Eric.
And this is Sandy.
Signing out.